One day, we too will be ashes and dust.
So I just started playing Final Fantasy XIV. It's been consuming my life for the past month. And you already know in this channel, I like playing Final Fantasy games. Please watch my other videos. Heard that the story is one of the top tier FF stories after a few expansions. With the popularity of Endwalker, I decided to give the game a try. And I played my fair share of MMOs. My recent MMO I've played was Lost Ark. And since it's a Final Fantasy game, it will probably make me stick to the game. And what you know, I actually fell in love with this MMO because I have a solid understanding of what a Final Fantasy game should be and all the references, like all the icons and summons, and you have your black mage, white mage, Tonberries. So yeah, I looked at the classes and, you know, I want to be a Dark Knight, just like my boy Cecil, be an edgelord. But I can't be a Dark Knight right away, so I just settled with a Gladiator into a Paladin until I was able to actually become an edgelord. The combat's pretty old school with, you know, your regular tab targeting and the trinity of an MMO with your healer, DPS, and tank. This was actually new to me because most MMOs I played didn't have any definitive roles. Most MMOs just let you get away with everybody going to a dungeon and gang up on the boss. FF14 dungeons start out pretty simple, but then it gets more complicated down the road with more mechanics and stuff. Like starting out with just regular telegraphs on the floor to a lot of telegraphs on the floor to mechanics where I actually have to use my brain because I'll just end up falling off the map.
I got pushed off the map! Ow! Yo!
Yeah, this is kind of from the point of view of a tank main, and you know, the party follows me around, and I'm pulling the mobs, doing the noob mistake of not having my tank stance, seeing my other teammates grab aggro. So I'll eventually come around to trying out all the trademark classes, black mage and white mage, to see how the other roles fare. Because to me, it's like reminding me of Overwatch where, you know, one DPS takes damage and
I need healing.
And, you know, if you're really antisocial, you could literally play the game solo. Like, there's an option to do dungeons with actual NPCs. And I think the game is designed in a way where you're supposed to consume the story any way you want. Because sometimes when I'm playing the story, I completely forget that this is an MMO and there's other players around. Before I continue with the video, can you guys like and subscribe? Because I'm planning on making more content. I would appreciate it a lot. Anyway, the hub area is pretty cool. You see people wearing all their fancy gear and everyone chilling. And in these areas, you could do the best activity in the whole game, which is sitting on a bench. Like, the world is so alive, you could just be AFK and you just see what's going on in the world. Like, you could just be chilling with random people, you could just be standing there and then some random bard just starts smashing their keyboard like a piano. Or you see a raid group posing because they just did a hard raid. And I feel like there's an abundance of players because, you know, the server is always full. Like most MMOs I've played, the fun usually starts at endgame. So like early game, it's like the grind. But from my experience from this game, FF14, the fun is spread out throughout all the game. Like, I'm having a good time throughout any time of the game. The making of this video, I just started Shadowbringers. And so far, I think the story is pretty good. The beginning was kind of rough because they're introducing the world and stuff like that. I wouldn't blame you if you ended up skipping cutscenes because I have the patience to actually watch them. And if you came here thinking if it's worth playing Final Fantasy XIV, I would say yes. Especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan. I know the story is pretty long and enduring, but I think it's worth it. But then again, you could also play as a cat girl. And one last thing, I was a pretty rich sprout. I started out with 1 mil. One of my friends gave it to me. If you know who you are. Thanks, man.
Fall as in push up. Oh, I called it!